Hello, pro wrestling fans, and welcome back to, I'm going to say it, the best pro wrestling YouTube channel on the planet, Squared Circle Speak. I am Ryan. With me, as always, is my co-host and my brother, and as we're recording this, it's his birthday. It's Nathan. And we're going to do our usual weekly WWE wrap up. We're going to talk everything WWE, and what a freaking week it was. Oh boy.
Yeah, we got a lot to get into. They made this very interesting for my birthday weekend to talk about. Like we got a lot of stuff. This is gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know, man. You gave us some lofty goals there, Mister Best in the Best Podcast or whatever you just said. Jesus Christ.
Hey, look, in my mind, we're the best. Okay. I don't know if everybody else's mind, it may not be. But yeah, so let's start with, as always, Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw was in Corpus Christi, Texas. And my God, they gave Corpus Christi a hell of a show. The show started off with Seth Rollins. Kind of threw me
Yeah,
off
I think he's gonna be
completely.
gone for a while.
Yeah, I figured he was going to be gone for a long time. But he's back. Seth Rollins was talking about, he was like, hey, I want my title back. So I'm thinking, hey, maybe I enter the Money in the Bank match. And then Damian Priest came out and said, look, welcome back. And he said, I've been wanting to go one-on-one with you. He goes, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. Me and you one-on-one for the world title at Money in the Bank. And I guess Seth kind of agreed. And then they went back and forth a while, and then it was over. So I guess it's going to be Seth Rollins versus Priest at Money in the Bank. Kind of throws the entire Raw main event picture into the loop because I didn't know where they're heading, and now I have no idea where they're heading. Like,
Yeah,
Seth Rollins coming back just completely threw everything off.
yeah, 'cause it's like, does he win now, or do we, you know? If Priest beats him, then is it still Priest Gunther, or
Yeah.
what are we doing here?
I mean, Seth Rollins Gunther would be a great match, but I don't. Seth Rollins coming back, immediately getting the title back, but then immediately dropping it to Gunther doesn't seem like smart business.
No,
Because I assume 100% that Gunther is winning the world title.
me too, but now I'm not so sure.
Yeah, but now with Seth back, I have no idea. This threw everything out because I didn't know where they were going to go with the main event or with the world title match at SummerSlam. Now I'm even more confused than I was before.
Yeah.
So it's great to see him back, but my God, I did not expect it. I did not. I thought he'd be gone till at least the fall. Like I figured he'd be back around October, September, or something like that. I did not expect him back this early, and so he's right back in, and now you've got another main eventer thrown into the mix here on Raw, which is I don't know, it's gonna be great. I don't know. I don't know if Damian Priest is gonna beat Seth or if they're gonna do some fuckery, and then maybe whoever wins Money in the Bank cashes in. I don't know.
Yeah. So speaking of other main eventers and did it on Raw, we had Drew McIntyre come out and he basically said he quit, right?
Yeah, Drew McIntyre. Yeah, I don't. He comes in and just says, CM Punk, I can't do this anymore. Screw this company. I quit. And that was it. Obviously, that wasn't the end of things. Because we'll find out later in the week. Little wrinkle was thrown into this. But at the time, it was kind of crazy to think that. I mean, I kind of figured something was going to happen because, he just resigned. And I figured it was kind of some sort of tomfoolery going on with McIntyre. But yeah, so we had Rollins come back. McIntyre quit. Raw was
Yeah.
full.
Yeah, and that was just the first half. Like then we got a lot of other crazy stuff because we had qualifying matches on this show.
Yeah, so we had a women's main event qualifying match. Io Sky, Zelina Vega, and Kiana James. Io Sky got the win after Vega got distracted by Liv Morgan. It's looking like it's probably gonna be Liv Morgan versus Vega for the women's world title at Money in the Bank.
How do you feel about that?
Nah, not my first choice. But Zelina Vega has proven that she can go. It's a weird choice, and it's weird the way they're going about it because I don't know why they're feuding. I don't know what they're kind of mixing in the Judgment Day and the LWO kind of stuff with this feud, and it's all kind of muddled. So I'm not a huge fan of this, but whatever. But Io Sky went in to win this match, so she's in Money in the Bank for the second straight year, and hope maybe she'll win again. We had a big Intercontinental title thing with Sammy, Braun, and Sheamus earlier in the week, which led to Sammy kind of just saying, "Hey, how about you two fight it out, and we'll find out who the number one contender is." Then Carlito beat Dragon Lee. Katana Chance and Carter beat Damage Control. Sheamus and Braun Breaker, that match ended in a disqualification after Ludwig Kaiser got involved. The greatest moment that I have seen in history in Raw. Kaiser was going to look to do the wraparound dropkick where he runs around the ring and dropkicks Sheamus, but then Breaker comes in and there was an overhead shot of both of them running, and it was the coolest looking thing I've ever seen. And then Breaker proceeded to spear Kaiser in half.
Yeah, so I guess he's a tweener, huh?
Yeah, it looks like we might be headed to a fatal four-way at Money in the Bank for the Intercontinental title between these four, which I would be all for. But yeah, that spot with Breaker and Kaiser both running around the ring and then Breaker just destroying Kaiser in half was amazing. So I'm hoping that leads to a fatal four-way or a triple threat or something. That would be a fantastic match for me.
So I do have a question for you now.
Yeah.
So Money in the Bank's obviously not going to be a 2-night show.
Nope.
But you've already listed some stuff here, Ryan, that you think could happen. So are you thinking Money in the Bank's not going to be the typical 5-match show?
I'm thinking that they're trying to build Money in the Bank up as one of the big 5, as one of the big shows. So it might be get the WrestleMania SummerSlam treatment where it gets a little bit more matches than the typical show.
So you're thinking like 8?
I'm hoping. I hope we don't have just 5, because with 2 Money in the Bank matches,
yeah,
that means there's only 3 other matches that could happen, and we've got a lot going on.
Well, maybe some of these other matches are going to happen on SmackDown or something.
Yeah, because I think there's going to be a couple matches on SmackDown that could lead to the pay-per-view too, which I hope. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. And then the other thing of note, we had the men's Money in the Bank qualifying match. It was Jey Uso, Finn Balor, Rey Mysterio, a very fun match. All 3 highly athletic. All 3 pulled out some shit. But in the end, it was Jey Uso who gets the win. But then afterwards, holy shit. So I know we're probably going to have, me and you might have differing opinions on this, but we had the lights go out, and then we see, the typical Bray Wyatt music. The door is on the stage, and then some woman crawls across the stage, crawls towards the lantern, and then they go to the back, and there are people dead, sprout out everywhere. And then we see Uncle Howdy. We see, which we assume is Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, and Dexter Lumis. And then there's a shot of Chad Gable with all we can assume is, I assume, a hammer shot. He's got blood on his head. They zoomed in on Chad Gable, and then Uncle Howdy and the rest of the Wyatt Sicks pose on the stage, and that's how the show ends. So what are your thoughts on this segment? What are your thoughts on all this going on?
Yeah, so all right, so first let me say, let's address some of these questions that they left with this, Ryan. Why Chad Gable of all people? Of all people, because he's the only one that they showed that was an actual person, like an actual superstar. The rest of them are all extras. And why Chad Gable, Ryan?
Well,
that's the first.
Yeah, that's what I don't. They were during all the vignettes and all the QR codes and stuff. There were hints at Chad Gable. I don't know why, unless it's just like maybe they don't like that he's been bullying all his team, and maybe the Wyatt Sicks are going to be good guys, and they're going to take out all the bullies and the I don't know. I've been trying to figure out why Chad Gable too. He had no relationship with Bray Wyatt ever, and so I don't know. Hopefully, we get an answer this week, but I have no idea.
With that out of the way, now my thoughts on this was visually, it was cool. It looked cool. Their entrance was cool. The way they shot it, it was really cool. The problem with it is I don't know where they go from here, Ryan, because I mean, obviously they didn't kill these people, even character wise, even kayfabe. They're not going to say they killed them, right? They're not going to say they killed them, but they filmed it in a way where they basically beat the hell out of them. And so now you're like, it was almost like a horror movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know where you go from that to, all right, now we're going to have wrestling matches.
Yeah, now they're just going to be normal people on the roster that wrestle.
Yeah,
That
I
was
don't know
my
how,
thoughts too.
I don't know how you go into feuds with it. I don't know how you book it. I don't know how you I just don't know how you go from that. Are they going to be supernatural? Or are they not going to be supernatural? Was this just, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of weird ways that this can go, and I don't know how well it's going to go over if it's not booked correctly.
They're running, yeah, and they're gonna ride that fine line of the fans may instantly turn on it if they don't like it because it is a Bray Wyatt thing. And so if they don't do it the way they think Bray Wyatt would want it, fans are going to be, turning on this. I agree with you. It was visually one of the most impressive things they've done. Visually wise, like as a TV show, it was great. But yeah, I don't know how we transition into this. And I wonder, are they going to unmask? Like,
well, yeah, that's another question.
are they going
they
to reveal that these are this is Joe Gacy, this is Dexter Loomis, this is Eric Rowan, or are they just going to wrestle as these characters with the masks that don't look like they can wrestle in?
Right.
So I don't know. I'm hopefully we get some answers, but
especially if that is Dexter Loomis, his mask is so pointy.
Yeah,
there's no way he can wrestle in that.
I will say if the other one was Joe Gacy, he looked like he lost some weight. Because when I looked at it, I was like, I know who the rumors are, but I could not tell that was Joe Gacy. So I don't know. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully we get some answers on Monday. But again, they got to do it in a way to make it a smooth transition from we're horror movie villains to just normal people.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it. Triple H is going to have to pull something out with this because, like I said, this debut was great, but now we've got to work on making it more realistic and making it more because that was a problem with the Fiend was he was too overpowered. He was a horror movie villain and he was too overpowered and you couldn't really book him.
Not just overpowered, it was hard to book him in a wrestling match. Like, how do you go from doing the stuff that he was doing to now we're gonna run ropes and we're gonna
sell and now you've got to do headlocks and yeah. So I don't know. So hopefully we get some answers on Monday. I'm really looking forward to the show tonight to Raw and hopefully they give us something. I don't know what we're gonna get, but hopefully we get something out of it. Yeah, hopefully we get some answers. So from that, we transitioned to NXT. And NXT started with "Say His Name and He Appears." I believe in Joe Hendry.
All right, so I was happy that he was there. I believe he should get out of his TNA contract and come to NXT, honestly.
He got a good ovation.
Yeah, I was glad he was there. But now, that being said, do you think they had him eliminated too quick? Because basically he was the second person eliminated because the first person was All Ego Ethan Page, who got jumped before the match started.
Well, he didn't really wasn't eliminated, but yeah, he got jumped.
Yeah, so he was already gone. So Joe Hendry is technically the second person gone. And yeah, the whole group, all 25 or 23 other people attacked him to make him look strong, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like they didn't let him. I mean, you didn't want him in there too long because then the crowd would be like really mad when he got eliminated, like really mad because they thought he maybe had to win it. So I get why they did it, but at the same time, I'm like, man, I think they should have let him show what he could do in the ring.
I was okay with it. I was okay with it. It made a memorable moment, and now there's a because they had a little confrontation with Shawn Michaels after. Now there's motivation for him to come back and
Right.
for him to. I was okay with it, honestly. It got the crowd to pop, and the social media went crazy because that's like one of the most watched YouTube clips or social media clips of all time.
Yeah.
So it worked, and I was okay with it. I figured, it was a moment.
All
He
right.
obviously wasn't going to win. So
Here's another problem I had with it. You ready for this?
mhm.
I haven't heard this take anywhere else. Okay. This is a Nathan Mosby original right here. This is a take that I have not heard yet. And this is one thing that I did have a problem. He should have had a music video prepared and a one of his songs prepared to cut on the NXT roster because that's what he's known for. And we could have got a little hit, got some of that to really, make the crowd want him to come back to NXT.
That's true. I mean, because he did cut a promo. His promo was pretty good. Um, on everything. He said he was going to win and all that. But yeah, a music video would have been great. That really would have put it over the top.
Yeah.
So this was a typical battle royal.
Mm-hmm.
One of the surprises was Frankie Kazarian, who had like 4 eliminations. Frankie Kazarian was in there almost till the very end. He was final 3. The final 4 were Tyler Bate, Frankie Kazarian, Dragon Lee. Oh, the final 5 were Tyler Bate, Frankie Kazarian, Dragon Lee, Shawn Spears, and Javon Evans. The final 2 were Spears and Evans. And this is where I think so. One of the audience is kind of split on this. Javon Evans ended up eliminating Shawn Spears.
Mm-hmm.
I am okay with it. I think Javon Evans is great. I think, they've been pushing him kind of hard. This is his moment to step up and shine. He wins this battle royal, but I can also see why people wanted Shawn Spears to win because Trick is still green, and he needed someone of experience in there to make him look good, and to.
I got a different take.
So, but I'm okay with Javon Evans winning. I was happy with this.
Well, I got a different take on it, Ryan. I also was happy that he won. Actually, you know what? I was happy anyone won except Shawn Spears. I didn't want Shawn Spears to win this fucking thing. I'm so tired of Shawn Spears. But also, I think this is a way to show Trick Williams is going to lead a match and
Yeah,
see
I
if he
mean,
can.
true. There's no better way. If you're going to be the star, if you're the man, we're going to put you in there as someone you have to. Yeah, I mean, that's 100%. I've never heard that from anyone else, too. Like, that is true. Like, if you're going to be the champion, you got to be the man in the match. You got to carry this young kid to a good match, which
Mhm.
Javon Evans is great. And I don't think he needs carried, but in the eyes of the fans, he's a rookie. And
Yep.
so that's a good point. It's a very good point. I don't think it's going to end up being a one-on-one match anyway, though, with the way this show ended.
Yeah, it's probably not. It's probably not.
But also on the show, we had a triple threat tag team match with Roxanne Perez and Lola Vice winning against Metaphor and JCJ and Jasmine Nix. After the match, Roxanne took out Perez before Perez could take out, or Perez took out Vice before Vice could take out Perez. Is it going to be Perez and Lola for the title, you think?
It's looking that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but it could be anybody.
Match. It'd be a good match.
Yeah. After this, Ethan Page called out Javon Evans and said, "Hey, you got one more match in you." And then Abe was like, "Sure, let's do it." And so that was the main event is Ethan Page and Javon Evans. Kalani Jordan had her first title defense of the NXT North American Women's Championship against Mi Chin, who's been all over both show everywhere this week.
Yeah.
And Kalani Jordan won, so she is still champion. Everything else that happened was kind of eh. So then we go to that main event, Ethan Page and Javon Evans. A really good match between these two, but this show ends with just Spears coming out and then Trick Williams getting involved, and then all 4 men kind of just take each other out. So it looks like we might be heading towards a fatal 4-way.
How do you feel about that?
I don't like it. I am much rather have Javon Evans and Trick 1-on-1 to see what both of them can do. Main event, can both of them, hang in the main event with each other, and let's give the 2 young guys a chance to shine. I like that a lot better than a fatal 4-way. I understand the fatal 4-way, but I don't like it. I was so looking forward to Javon Evans getting his first one-on-one title match and a main event spot. And now, I mean, he's still going to be in there, but I don't really like Fatal 4-Way.
Right.
So I don't know. Ethan Page won this match, but so I don't know what that means. And then Shawn Spears also got involved. It's looking like we're into a Fatal 4-Way. We might not be. They might trick us into not doing a Fatal 4-Way, but more than likely, that's what's going to be at Heat Wave, I think, is the next show.
Yeah.
So it's in Canada. You're probably going to put both Shawn Spears and Ethan Page in the match in Canada. I mean, I guess it makes sense.
Yep. Sure.
All right, on to SmackDown, where we had more crazy shit happen. Showed off with CM Punk. Paul Heyman came out, and they had a little confrontation about Roman Reigns, and he said, you know, look, he said when Roman was the head of the table, you know, you were off limits. He knew how much you meant to me. He wasn't going to go at you. But now that Solo's in charge, they're coming out here and they're going to try to jump you. And he's like, so I'm asking you, you know, hey, get out of here. You know, I'm asking you for a favor. Just get out of the ring. And before they can do that, Solo comes out and Punk goes, hey, what was the favor you added me to ask? And then Paul Heyman goes, take me with you.
Yeah. Yeah, that was hilarious.
And Solo looked at him like, okay. And then so CM Punk kind of called him out, and the Bloodline comes into the ring, and then Cody comes out with baseball bats. The Bloodline retreats, and Cody says, you know what, Solo, I want you tonight. Let's go one-on-one. So then we had a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Bianca Belair, Chelsea Green, and Michin. Pretty decent match here. Belair hit a reverse German suplex onto Michin, dropped her on her head. Insane. She then hit the KOT.
Fucking crazy.
And then Green dumped Belair out of the ring. Green wins this match, and the crowd lost their mind.
I know, man.
Chelsea Green was like the most over person on this whole show. Like, she won this match, and they went absolutely insane. So Chelsea Green is into the Money in the Bank. Interesting. Did not see that coming. I could see her winning it and being the first person to lose.
They haven't had a woman lose yet, have they?
No, and she was super proud when she made her return of being eliminated from the Royal Rumble that quick and having like the record. So she understands her role as like a comedy person. Yeah. I could 100% seeing her pushing to win the Money in the Bank and cash in and lose. I could 100% seeing her doing that. And that way, you know, because I think someone's got to lose eventually. They can't have it be 100% all the time.
Yeah.
And Chelsea Green would be the perfect person to cash in and lose. So I could see her winning this thing. I was pulling for Tiffany Stratton, but now that Chelsea Green's in, I kind of pulling for Chelsea to win. Then we had a backstage segment. There, Grayson Waller and Theory and DIY were talking, but then the garage door opens. We see CM Punk laid out bleeding, and then it reveals that Drew McIntyre is standing over him. He puts him on his shoulder, brings him through the gorilla position, puts him on the stage. He rips Punk's bracelet off, which I don't know what that was symbolizing.
I don't either.
But then Nick Aldis comes out and they get into a shoving match, and then Punk is taken on a stretcher. So I guess McIntyre didn't quit.
Yeah, that didn't last very long.
Yeah, Punk kind of called him out too. During his promo, he said, you know, I didn't think I would drag McIntyre out of this company that quickly. So this feud is crazy without one of them being cleared. Like this feud has been nuts. When they actually finally get into the ring together, it's going to be insane. I cannot wait for that. Hopefully it's at Summer. It probably won't be till SummerSlam, but that's going to be an amazing match. They're going to, it's going to be just all out warfare. It better be like a fucking street fight or something.
It better be.
They better not make them do just a normal match.
No.
Then we had the first men's qualifying match on SmackDown. Orton, Carmelo Hayes, and Tama Tonga. Carmelo Hayes ends up winning this match by pinning Orton. Tonga Loa came out. Kevin Owens came out to take him out. And then Hayes ended up rolling up Randy Orton to get the win. So Carmelo Hayes in the Money in the Bank.
How you feel, Ryan?
Hey, look, he has been pushed as kind of this main eventer since he's on SmackDown, but he hasn't won a whole lot. And so I'm excited to see him in Money in the Bank. I do not see him winning Money in the Bank, but it's good. I'm glad he got this win over Orton and got a big moment here and is going to get into the chance to get a world title shot. So I'm all for it. I was happy with this.
I'm liking I'm liking all the people that are in the Money in the Bank so far.
Yeah, they haven't. I think every one of them has been the right choice so far. Other
Yeah.
than Jey Uso, I think Finn Balor could have won that match. I still think
Uh, I think they should have had instead of. I don't think Jey Uso and Finn Balor should have been in the same match.
no. I think Finn Balor is going to end up being in anyway. I think he'll end up winning like a second chance thing or something. I think Finn Balor is still going to end up in Money in the Bank. But
Okay.
then we had another Money in the Bank match: Kevin Owens, Grayson Waller, and Andrade. The Bloodline attacked Owens before the match, so he went. Orton came out as well, so that Owens went into this match kind of not at 100%. This was a pretty good match though between these three. Waller went for the roll through stunner that he did, but then he got caught into Andrade's new finishing move, the message. Really cool. The message is like a spinning neck breaker type of thing. He
Yeah,
rolled.
I feel like it's a little too much like Lexus King's move. So Lexus King might have to get a new finisher.
Yeah, but he caught him, nailed it, and Andrade's into the Money in the Bank. So SmackDown with Andrade and Carmelo going with the young route. Guys, guys who haven't held a world title on the main show, so um, no problem there either. Of the three in that match, I think Andrade was the one to win. So again, no issue with the Money in the Bank people. And so we into our main event: Cody Rhodes, Solo Sikoa. This was just a fight from the beginning. And then it didn't last very long before the Bloodline shows up. It was 3-on-1. Orton and Owens come out. They take out the Tongas. They've got Sikoa in the ring. He's begging for mercy, but then he starts laughing. And out of nowhere, the big bad Jacob Fatu comes out. He hits super kicks. He takes out Owens. He hits a Samoan drop on the stairs. Then he spears Orton through the barricade. And then he ends up putting Rhodes on the announce table and hits a giant fucking splash from the top rope through the announce table onto Cody. And then Fatu poses with the bloodline as the show goes off the air. So Nathan, we finally got Jacob Fatu here. What are your thoughts? He looked a lot slimmer. He looked like he lost some weight. And that's
Uh,
scary. Because
he
he could
lost he lost a considerable amount of weight.
yeah, and that's scary because he could already move without the weight with how big he was, but now that he's smaller, boy, he is going to be fucking dangerous.
I don't know if that was a yeah, and so I don't know if this is that was a WWE decision or if maybe it was his own personal decision.
Maybe that's why
But
it took a
that
while for him to
that's
debut.
I was gonna say that's definitely why it took him a while
Yeah,
to debut because yeah, he's in phenomenal shape and he looked a little rough on some of those moves, but
yeah,
in his timing, but man, oh man, the crowd was into it and yeah, if they book him right, Ryan, which I'm hoping they do. So this is one thing I'm worried about with this whole bloodline thing, is I'm worried that after it's over, because it's obviously leading to some kind of bloodline warfare at some point, right?
mm-hmm.
And after it's over, what happens to the Tongans? What happens to uh, Jacob Fatu? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I'm a little worried about that, but I have more faith in it than I would if it was not Triple H in charge. But still, I do worry about that because tag team wrestling still on the main roster,
yep,
and so I'm worried that after this is over, the Tongans could just get lost in the show.
yeah. That's the one thing too. Yeah, and then the rumors of Hikuleu coming in as well,
Yeah,
and
it's like, what do
then
you do with all of them after the Bloodline War?
and
You
then
know.
there's Zilla Fatu who's been teasing. He's showing up as well.
Now, see that one I think is just him trying to hype himself up because he's in he is in Booker T's company and he is very green. Like he's only been wrestling for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
And I think he's just hyping himself up. I don't see him coming in. I see no reason.
If he does show up, I can see him going to NXT.
Yeah.
There's no way I can see him making the main roster debut without.
No, that kind of messed up, really.
Yeah,
I
if he does, he'll
don't,
go the solo route and go to
I really don't
NXT.
like. I honestly, I don't like Hikaleo coming straight to the main roster if that happens
Yeah, but
because
Hikaleo's already in his 30s though, so
he is, but he's only been wrestling for 3 years, and basically he'd be getting in the main roster just because of his
yeah.
relationship,
Yeah, I mean
and
that's true.
that's kind of messed up in my opinion. But this is obviously probably a Rock decision, because Jacob Fatu's been out there for a while, and they never even not even a word about Jacob Fatu ever coming to WWE. And when I was always like, what the hell's going on with that?
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden the Rock's got that spot and on the board, and there he is. So I really
Yep.
feel like it's a Rock decision. So, but hey, whatever. Whoever's decision it was, I'm happy. So
Yeah. I'm
uh,
very thrilled with Jacob Fatu coming, and I think if fans haven't seen him wrestle, you are in for something special because he can do some things that he shouldn't be able to do. He is fast, he is strong, he is athletic. I think he's gonna overshadow Sokoa. I think he's gonna end up being way better than Sokoa. So I don't know how this is gonna work, but
yeah,
um, and real quick before we end, rumors are this is kind of just be for us here in Indiana, but WWE is reporting nearing a multi-event deal with the Indiana Sports Corporation. Reportedly that Royal Rumble 2025 will be taking place at Lucas Oil Stadium, along with a future WrestleMania and SummerSlam. The news out of this though was that reportedly that Royal Rumble would be on February 1st, which would be very
yeah,
interesting to see a Rumble in February.
yeah. That would be very interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. Do we get another pay per view in the middle of January or
Yeah, because
something?
they usually
Like,
don't do one in December. So like
well,
if we went
yeah,
from December to February without a pay-per-view, that's a long time.
yeah. They're gonna have to add something.
Yeah, maybe they'll bring back day one.
Oh God. All right.
uh
Well, I think that's gonna do it for
yep.
the WWE portion of our week. Uh, I hope everybody liked this. If you did like it, please hit that like button, subscribe if you want to hear more, and tickle that notification bell because sometimes YouTube doesn't let you know that we have more content coming. So you want to make sure you're notified.
Yeah, and we have a new video every day, Monday through Friday. And so stay tuned for the rest of the week for more exciting content, including AEW and some other bonus stuff. And we'll see you next tomorrow with AEW.